Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Tonight, we have an amazing matchup for you all. We have G-Men versus Danglers. The rivalry continues. Of course, we're just waiting for everyone to get into the lobby as per usual, but in the meantime, let us talk about the bans. On G-Men's side, they will be banning... Get ready for it, and it is Tanker. Never get there's the button. There we go. And on the Danglers side, usually Danglers typically, as far as I know, typically don't ban maps because they were for a while they were kind of against banning maps, but today they decided to unleash that strategy and go out and ban Bizarre. And the first map, map 1, will be Cargo. Very fun map to kind of get a feel for the match and kind of see where things are going to go from there, especially since it's so close range and requires so much of a reflex. Get to really see where the teams are at mentally and physically and tactically as well. So, only the greatest of stuff will come out of this tonight. Now, let's go over the rosters really quick of what I see here. On G-Men's side, there's only 4 of them still in. So, well, I'll let you know what the 5th one will be when he comes in. But currently we have Swooty, 404, The Man, and Dr. Leo Marvin. On the Dangler side, showing up on time with all their homework done, it's Stumping Up, Rusher Z, who I believe is a reservist, Planus, Nintendo, and Riboman, the new team captain after the recent departure of Expediter from the team. And our first objective here is going to be probably one of the coolest ones we could have. It's the 4-corner crate objective, the one that is just oh so capable and gets so juicy. I really see some very intense action right off the bat. We are still waiting on one member of the G-Men squad. And in a match like this, you need to have your best ready to go up against each other. This is G-Men versus Danglers. Diamond on diamond. And I don't even have to look that up to know it. I'm sorry, master on master. I do have to look it up to know it. What do I know? What do I know? I'm just your lowly old caster boy who wasn't even planning on hosting today, but Sleepy decided that he himself was getting a little sleepy and felt like he didn't have the energy to cast such a high octane match, and said if I want to do it, I can go ahead and do it, and that I will. The 5th member of G-Men, and I have that in, is the one, the only, Zach Fontaine. So we're looking at some epic lineups right now. And as these 2 master ranked teams are about to go head to head and duel out to see who is the better Onward VRML team. I don't think you could get really any better. At least not in the NA. Now with all 5 members in the lobby, they're definitely using up as much time as they can to strategize this first objective while they can. This first objective really, when you get down to it, sets the tone for how the rest of the match is going to go. And we will be starting this up really soon here. You hear the beeps, you know what time it is. It is go time.
Where you at, big man?
I'm right here.
Blow me up if you hear me stop breathing.
Oh, we have the Alu Akbar strategy coming out. One gentleman carries the C4 while the other one has the trigger. Pre-firing going down the pipe lane. And a mad rush coming out of G-Man while Planis kind of waddles his way into the same building complex. Tosses the C4 out, orders it to blow up, finds the man, but Zach Fontaine will be able to get the res, but no. Planis goes in to catch it out, but then gets caught out by the pre-fire that goes his way. A rocket of a nade lands right by 404, catching him out, but he is resable. And another nade goes out and catches Dr. Leo Marvin, also resable. Ooh, I need a breather. One member of G-Men are left still standing. He can go for the res, but Stumping Up is probably going to try to do what he can to get this confirm. To bring it more into the Danglers' advantage here. And he tosses the C4 to finish off Dr. Leo Marvin. Talk about overkill. And Swooty will walk on over, excuse my poor flying skills, to get the res on 404. As he walks over there, quoted saying, "Everyone is dead." Just to sum up how grim this first round is looking for G-Man. And Danglers haven't even tried to extend themselves just yet, but they have 4 members on defense here, and G-Man have to attack with 2, and this is the objective that you want to have all hands on deck for. Swooty and 404 are beginning to make their push onto the side that Rushers is so diligently watching. Riboman will catch out Swooty, and 404 is right there. He peeks out just enough for Rusher Z to get an idea of what's going on, but he's not able to get that confirm. He's not able to even make it really connect at all. But he still refuses to give up that so important angle. 404 will actually get the revive on Swooty. I don't know. He's probably got like more revives than he has kills. Oh, apologies. Swooty might be able to find Rusher Z here, but Rusher is actually getting really aggressive with his positioning now. 404 does find Rushers. That's giving himself a bit more of an opening, but he did give away his position in doing so. Four does find Nintendo for the sick double, bringing it down to a 2v1 with G-Man's advantage. Stumpy Nub is completely off of objective. He catches out one off of the peak. Goes for the second one. He probably saw through the lattice. But now he's taking hits. He gets the quick res on himself, or the heal on himself. Can't really say res, but the point. But 404 is now going for the rotation around in order to catch out Stumpy Nub. He's not going for cap, clearly. Stumpy Nub is watch that objective, but oh! He was looking the wrong way. Stumpy did not see the rotation at all, and 404 was able to clutch a round win for G-Man when all hope seemed lost. Some amazing nades coming out of Danglers in the beginning, but just none of them were able to get the complete confirm. And the angles just kind of fell away at the end there, thus giving G-Man the first round win. I'm not gonna lie, I felt like Danglers had that round. I would have even bet money that Danglers would have had the first round. I'm not going to, because caster integrity, but this is Onward Master League 3. Onward after hours. We can get a little loosey-goosey. A little bit. Not too much. You are joining us now. Fire up that chat. Start the bits. Let's get everything going here. It is a Sunday night party here at the Onward Master League, and we couldn't have a better match to wrap up this amazing weekend of casted matches. We've had controversy, we had great matches, we've had it all. Without further ado, let's get back into the action and see how G-Men choose to defend on this round. My apologies, I propped my phone on my spacebar. And that's the key that toggles that. Free fire coming out here. Dr. Leo Maya finds Rusher Z, who I believe is the reservist for Danglers. Plenus finds Marvin, bringing it back down to a 4v4. The man catches that stumping up, but Rivalman is able to get that refrag. Plenus finds Swooty, and Rivalman finds Zach Fontaine, and Danglers able to get themselves around after Nintendo finds 404. A good, swift attack coming out of Danglers, grabbing themselves a map win, saying that we shall not be undefeated. And I don't even have to queue up the score thing yet. They are just launching right into this. Wow. They're not giving me much time to talk about things afterward. I'm not complaining. I'm loving this action. Chat, remind me. To add 2 points or whatever. Fix the scores after Todd. Venus will get really aggressive here on Zach Fontaine. I think he's just waiting for Zach to make his move, but I think he knows better. Nade coming out, probably won't catch anyone. Now he's watching that other approach. Zach Fontaine comes around, but Plenus, finds Zach, but now Swooty is on his tail. Rusher Z catches out Dr. Leo Marvin as well off camera. And Plenus finds Swooty, but Dr. Leo Marvin is able to get that refrag. And 404 is able to get Plenus. Or I think he got the confirm. A little confused by that, but he got the confirm. Just like that, the game slows down, and G-Men are trying to figure out how they want to begin to attack this again. They're back down to a 2v4. They've been in this situation before, and they persevere just by finding the picks and evening out and doing whatever they can to get it to work for their own cause. So this is a hard objective to work with. There's this massive area right in front of the objective here where it's just so open and so defended that going in there without any utility is almost suicide. So Leo and 404 have actually opted to hold back and wait for Danglers to start, see if they start moving up. They do have about 4 minutes on the clock here, so the time is on their side as of right now. Four will begin his push up. Now riding along board of Leo Marvin here. I think he did see Cleanest right there for a second, who did peek and knows exactly where 404 is also. Check in on our boy Leo for a second here before 404 gets too into this. He's got a bit of a conundrum here. He can go for the direct attack onto objective here. Very well placed nade, just there's a roof in the way. Riboman sees Marvin. 404 is actually able to tag Riboman as he tries to find Marvin, but good rotation coming out of 404 to find that pick. Well done. The utility does come out. That's blocking the line of sight through that container. Maybe giving 404 a line onto objective. Marvin actually finds himself a shield. I don't think he had a shield before. Maybe he did and I just didn't notice. 404 finds Rusher Z. And now Leo Marvin's in a battle with Stumpy Nub. A person very well known for his shield work. But Trey comes out and G-Men actually take the win. Again. 404 and Marvin are just doing work for their teams respectively. Look at that, 7 kills. 404 is not holding back whatsoever at all. Now here's the part where I have to correct my scores. So Danglers won the last map, but they queued the map so quick I couldn't even change the scores. And G-Men just took this round, thus bringing it to a 2-1 G-Men's advantage. I think we're seeing more of a Marsoc advantage here. We're seeing whoever's on Marsoc is just taking round after round, if it's G-Men or Danglers. I think it will cement itself if Danglers do take this round, and it could just be how these teams play each other. We do talk about through cast how like certain objectives are biased toward one faction or another. I say faction, it's really defense or offense, but bear with me. But if Danglers can win here, they might just prove me right. But wait no longer, we will find out soon enough as we go into round 4 here. The pre-fire does come out across that pipe lane again, along with some smokes that's obscuring anyone trying to make the push or trying to block anyone. Swooty finds Cleanest, but Stumpy Nub, oh my goodness, I cannot read that. Rusher Z finding the man there in the end. And the res comes out on Swooty, thus bringing it up to a 4v3. And a rocket of a nade almost finds Stumpy Nub, but bounces just a little too far. And Danglers are a little locked up as is. One man down and still haven't taken half the map as of just yet. Coming over to the Danglers perspective here, they don't really have too many lanes that they can control. G-Men kind of have this whole other half locked down aside from the lane that we are looking directly down. That might not even last for long as 404 makes a rotation to cover the tunnel side. Rusher Z will also watch to make sure that he has that as well. Nades going off like it's World War I and a barrage. That's coming out, and Swooty's getting really aggressive here, but gets caught out by Rushers. And 404 finds Rushers on the refrag, bringing it to a 2v3 G-Men's one-man advantage. They have Marvin, Zach Fontaine, and 404 holding kind of an off-objective defense, but if the utility does come out, Danglers might be able to get sneaky and try to work their way in, forcing the rotation off of either Zach Fontaine or Leo. But speak of Leo, Leo might actually have his back not covered here as Stumpy Nub comes around and finds the kill. Thus leaving it to 404 and Zach Fontaine to defend. Oh 404's positioning here is where he was in that corner is a great place to lock down a lane, but it is a pretty predictable spot. As a matter of fact, I think it's one of those places that just gets automatically pre-fired nowadays. Zach Fontaine did not catch out Nintendo at all with that cross because that one not so bulletproof crate right there. Matter of fact, yes, you can shoot through that. You know the enemy is there. Stumpy Nub is making his way by the breakdancing Volk. I think should just get moves just for busting that good of a move. Like, he's still doing it. That's incredible. I could watch him for days. Endo's beginning to focus a little bit too much on objective. He might get caught out by Zach here unless he gets supported by Stumpy. And he will. 404 begins to think about rotating out, but Stumpy Nub knows exactly where Zach Fontaine is, and he will work with that. Ducks for cover right as 404 makes his peak. He is using that doorway crack to his advantage. Now we're into a 1v1, 404 versus Stumpy Nub. The two people who have been carrying their respective teams on this map are about to duel it out in the duel of at least this game, probably, and we're only in the first map. I don't think this could get any better. And we got a breakdancing Volk. Stumpy Nub's actually going to make the rotation there. It finds 404 by shooting through the lattice, thus giving Danglers their second point. And a drop right as comes out of Rival Man, but he joins back up immediately, so I don't think we'll be delayed. you're seeing some really highly intense action coming out of both teams, but there seems to be a definite favor for Marsoc as we speak right now, at least on the objective that we have seen. There are some pretty defendable objectives on this map. Namely, more so to the north side, but just the matter is if you can keep the enemy in the other side for as long as possible without losing any of your own, you basically have this map under control. Wait no longer for round 5. Sorry, there's a little sound there. Kind of handling a couple things here. Music coming out of Plenus. And a very aggressive push coming out of the same person, Plenus. Along with some good pre-firing going along the lanes here, trying to catch anybody out that they can, but that showering of lead does not find any of the Danglers. G-Men have already taken the tunnel, which is so crucial on this objective because it basically secures this whole lane right here to the objective. Play stops for a little bit as G-Men begin to consider their options while they have 5 men still up. I'm surprised that Danglers haven't started nading everywhere like they have been previous 2 rounds. Push comes out of Swooty and Leo Marvin as they try to kick nades out, but still aren't able to find anyone despite all the... Wow, just a nicely timed nade. Wasn't able to find anyone, but points for effort. Oh, and a long distance smoke coming out. Streaking by objective, but not well placed anymore. Oh, and a nice nade from the man takes down Plenus. He is still resible. And Stumpy will destroy 2 C4s at once and get the revive, but C4s are more of a precautionary measure. Don't find anybody. The move comes out on the left-hand side for G-Men, but Rusher Z is able to find 404. Only a downage, but still an improvement in what we've seen for the past 2.5 minutes. Rusher Z peeking out there, but gets tagged up by Zach Fontaine. Leo Marvin also gets the revive, thus bringing it up to 5 for G-Men and down to 4 for Danglers. They're still inching their way as close as they can, pre-firing any position that they know of in order to ensure that Danglers cannot rest easy in any good spots. I do believe they have a shield on their side. Yes, they do. The man is wielding the steel. Nintendo's able to find Marvin and get it confirmed. But as I say that, Plenus is also down Swooty, so we're down to a 3.5 v3. With 404 is able to get the revive, so it's now a 4 v3. Bumpy Knives finds Zach Fontaine along that tunnel, a huge pick, but the man is still there with that shield pistol combo, which you can use the laser on this map because it is just dark enough that it is very effective. Nintendo gets down, he calls out the trade, and he calls out that the shield is right there. Nintendo's occupying the shield while Rivalman tries to get the flank on him. A nade comes out, but once again, the man is just wielding that thing like it's Thor's hammer. Now he ducks back in and goes for the rotation with only a minute and 30 left. He's got to start coming up with something real soon. He's choosing to go along a completely different lane, at least into lanes where he has some form of control on. Actually, just going to let him control the camera work for now. It's a shield. It's going to get him nauseating. I know this because I also like using the shield. Alright, the call comes out from Stumpy. He heard it too, so he knows that his position is given away, and that's the last thing he needs. He needs that element of surprise to be on his side. Because he has that shield, he also can peek corners and see when other people are peeking too, and he can just stay out there and wait for that peek to still happen. That's his major advantage that he has right now. He just runs up onto objective, finds Nintendo, completely takes him out. Now he's trying to go for Rivalman, but Stumpy Nub is able to get the confirm and secure Danglers their first Volk round. Just excuse me for 1 second. I'm gonna go silent just for a little bit here, so please excuse me while maybe a bit of a pause. I'm actually gonna throw us. And we are back right at the round start. These guys take no time doing their strats at all as we head into round 6 of map 1. G-Men have to find a win here if they want to be able to take on the map. This is make it or break it as they are at the match point, and the man gets a nice double on Rushers and Stumpy Nub respectively, but then gets tagged out by Nintendo. And Swooty just gets the flank on Nintendo and Rivalman. Another nice double, only to get shut down by Rivalman. I believe he got down by Rivalman's nade that he might have been priming, which is why we saw him tag him, but then get confirmed by the person who he had just killed. Now, Plenus actually gets a nice nade on Dr. Leo Marvin, but the res will come out. But that also forces Zach Fontaine to briefly have to rotate out, and with how far and few G-Men are right now, with only 3 members left to defend this objective. And it's pretty dangerous to rotate, even against just Plenus on his own, but once again, it is just Plenus on his own. So we could see G-Men take this another round that's tying it up and bringing it to a match point. As I say that, Plinus finds a nice angle on 404. Now he's kind of cornered now. You really can't progress any further without getting picked first. And exactly that happens. And now we're into match point. Bum, bum, bum. Okay. Just look at the scores before I embarrass myself further. G-Men know when to come in clutch, and they executed that so perfectly. 404 and Swooty and the Man are just reaping the crops that they have sown. They are not holding back anything on this map. The pure skill level and the knowledge of all the points where people are going to be and the studying that happened beforehand really add up to this intensity that we see here. Because deep down in their minds, they visualize where these people are going to be, and that's why they're so effective at their flanks. And in the course of minutes, they completely brought down a Danglers offense from 5 to 1. Very impressive stuff. And now we head into the final. It's the final match. Okay. This is make or break for both these teams. Danglers on the defense. Demon, gotta get swifty with this. We're actually playing this pretty slowly now. We're not seeing anything crazy coming out of Danglers this time, unlike what we saw with G-Men before. No crazy flanks as of yet, but hey, could be wrong. We may be seeing 2 shield people, given the fact that I'm seeing 2 people hold their hands out under the crate, and nope, just 1. The Man, we've seen him use his shield before, and he is a brawler.